All right, welcome everyone to another 5 a.m. Club After Hours where we talk about faith, fitness, mental health, and business. And today we want to really drill down on the parents tonight. How parents can support their children and not be frustrated with their behaviors and, you know, their exceptional, I call it exceptional activities. I'm a parent. I know you guys are parents, Kim and Ashley. So maybe we could give the parents out there some tools to use now that school is kicked off. So how you ladies doing tonight?
Doing well.
Doing pretty good, pretty good. Hey, everybody.
Hi, y'all.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in because this is a very important topic. I know the parents are at work, the kids are at school, they get home from work, and now it's time to be mommy or daddy and help the kids with their lessons if they're not coming to you guys if that's the case. But so the first question I have for you guys is when a child is struggling academically, how does that often begin showing up emotionally or through their behaviors? You're on mute, Kim.
Sorry about that. Exactly that through behaviors. So it could be anywhere. You said describe the behaviors or what do we do with them? I'm sorry.
So the question is, why is when a child is struggling academically, why does that show up through their emotions or behaviors?
Oh, because they're trying to simply, in my um, in my expertise or in my, what I want to say, in what I've experienced, it's the, I want to say to Ashley. I know she'll help me out. I'm scrambling. Um, it's the urgency to neglect what's happening right in front of them. So I'll start acting out. What can acting out being like? I refuse to do anything, so I could freeze, or I could run away, or I could maybe cheat off somebody else's, or just simply say, I don't know how to do it. It could be words, it can be movement, it could be body language.
But also, children, when they start showing up or showing out emotionally or behaviorally, you might see them get quiet. You might see them get irritated easier, lack patience, resist doing the schoolwork,
Mm-hmm.
um, start saying things like, I don't like this, I don't want to do this, I don't like school, it's stupid. But those are ways that they are trying to push the narrative that they just don't want to do it, but the reality is they don't know how. And so
Mm-hmm.
those behaviors start to show through things like that. And we have to counteract it, and we have to be paying attention to our babies to know when those things are happening. You know what I mean? And we got to intervene and try to find a way to give them that support, but also we always go back to making learning fun, even though sometimes just some content just is not fun. Is you try to make it work, and you try to do the things, but and then recognizing that the things that we do are somehow connected to our real world,
Mm-hmm.
and making them see the connection can help them with those behaviors. But those are some of the behaviors that usually start. It's not the outbursts, it's not any of that, it's behavioral. It's the quietness for a person that's always loud and in charge. You know what I mean? It's the quietness, of course, but it's also the I ain't doing this, the complaining, the kicking stuff because they mad. You might even see a baby throw something across the room because they frustrated. It's just their
Shoving the
frustration.
papers, shoving the papers back at you.
Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
just them being frustrated. So those are the signs to let us know, uh-oh, something ain't right. Let's tap in. Let's check in with this baby to see how we can support them.
So let's drill a little bit deeper.
All right.
So in school, what do you guys do, or in tutoring when you guys have them outside of school? What do you guys do to kind of catch that and then like change the direction that they're going in?
So I'm gonna jump in and just say during tutoring, we have a better opportunity to reach them because it's just them and I usually. We might have small group tutoring, but for the most part, It's just that one-to-one interaction. It's not 20 other kids in the classroom that are watching your moves that you may be embarrassed to say that you don't understand in front of. When they're with us, they may have some resistance in the beginning, but it's not for long. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but like we bring some fire to our our sessions, and because we bring the fire to our sessions, the kids want to be there. They look forward to coming to see us, checking in with us, and if they don't understand something, then they feel comfortable enough to share it with us so we can tap into that. And
They're
the
in a
parents
safe
also are
space.
helpful with sharing that with us as well. Kim, I
Mm.
don't know if you want to hop in on that.
No, I feel like you covered it all. Like Saga Prep is definitely their safe space, and in those spaces we see, just like Ashley said. So I don't really have to, because they know, one, they know that they're there for a reason to help the struggle. So that's half the battle anyway. I actually have somebody who's here, who's in front of me, who cares about me getting this. And I no longer have an audience. There's no audience with us. It's just us, your brain, and what you will do because you can do it.
Yeah. And I think that's good that you guys do that inside of your tutoring program and are able to catch that and really motivate the children to be better, and you can focus in on that. But for parents that, on the days that you guys are not able to tutor them, what can they do when they see signs of that?
Well, it's I'm glad you mentioned that because we did have a special client, a scholar, I should say, and there were some behavioral tendencies, and mom talked to us about it.
Yeah.
Mom did all took all the necessary precautions. She talked to the school, she got the services that were needed for her baby. And so we use this, what they do in public school, and we connected that to what we do in our private sector. So, I don't, well, you won't know the mom. I don't want to put her business out there, but that baby received an individualized education plan. And so she shared the accommodations that came with that plan, and we were able to use that. And a lot of those behaviors were for a lot of those accommodations addressed behavior.
Yep.
And so in our sessions, and it wasn't our sessions, but one of our tutors, we talked to her about it. We came up with ideas. We joined forces with mom to talk about some ways that what we can do in tutoring and what she can do at home and how it can connect to make sure that we are all doing our parts. Whenever there's a child that has an individualized education plan or 504 or anything like that, we take that seriously. And it's not just in a school setting. I tell anybody, if you're touching my child as an adult, then you need to know what's going on with my child, so that we can all be on the same page to help them grow and be successful. That's what it's there for.
Yep.
So when we got with mom, we made sure that we locked in and we came up with strategies and suggestions. She took some of them, she gave us some of hers. We just kept constantly trying to pivot and work through it as we were trying to figure out what was best for him. So I mean, that was an example, but for parents, we gonna meet you halfway. If you need something, we're gonna meet you halfway. Every child is different, every child has a different situation. So I can't tell you this is what we do for every child. It really depends on the situation and what that child comes to our table with. And we address it accordingly if we need to.
And we're not closed minded to think like, okay, well, when they come to us on Tuesday, that they're not going, that's going to last for the entire week. No, if it
Mhm.
is in Ashley and I's space and our power to maybe talk on the phone with them real fast, to offset what they could be doing. If it could be maybe speaking to the parent to help them get through the homework, because they could be showing out during the homework piece. So yeah.
Great. And I think that's another benefit of Saga Prep, right? A lot of tutors, especially if they're not teachers, they only feel like once that day is over, that's it. They're done with the child. And I also know from experience that some teachers just end the day. Like, I'm just trying to get through the day. And I think you guys, and I know you guys are different from that because you guys are very, very, very passionate about what you do and want to see every child succeed. So
Yeah.
that's good work, and I commend you guys because it's a lot, and teachers don't get paid enough for things that you guys do.
Facts. Facts.
Hence Saga Prep.
So the next question I have is, what are some behaviors parents may interpret as laziness, attitude, or not caring that could actually be frustration, embarrassment, or overwhelmment as from the child being overwhelmed.
The first one that I think of is avoidance. All right, come on, it's time to read. Let's go ahead
Yeah.
and come on, go ahead and go grab that book. Okay, now I think it's time for me to go take a shower, or I got to go plug up my iPad, or I'm thirsty, or I got to go to the bathroom. So avoidance will probably be the main one, especially what I might see in my house. But we're not talking about my kids.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Is it parents need to ask themselves, is it the skill or the will? You know what I
Ooh,
mean? Is it my child doesn't have the skill to do this, or they just don't feel like doing it, right? And
mhm.
so once they decipher which one it is, then we can try to get to the root of the problem by asking our babies questions, talking to them, tapping in with them, sitting with them, and just watching them do the work. They're going to see those behaviors. I don't want to do this, it's stupid. But the reality is it's a struggle. Something's going on where they don't understand and they don't feel comfortable enough to just say, I don't understand. Because I have mom over here that just called me lazy, and I ain't lazy, mommy. I really don't get it, but I don't want to tell you that because then you're gonna think I'm lying. You know what I mean? So we gotta listen to our kids, really listen. I'm guilty of it too. My daughter always got something going on, and I'm like, girl, what now? But I do try to decipher between when it's really a situation or when she just trying to play me, And so parents, we just got to do the same thing and ask them, well, what feels hard about it? Show me what you're thinking. Show me where you stuck.
Mhm.
Let me
Show me
see
what
what
you
you
do
do
know.
know.
That
Yeah, let me see what you do know. Do you want me to email your teacher so that I can get some guidance too? Like just asking those questions to make them feel comfortable with telling you what's really going on in their world. I think that's important for parents to understand. But the first question is it the skill or the will? Let me dig in.
now I'm about to go down somewhere. You know, I have my heart sharp lefts because some of the frustration is actually coming from how things are taught at school. And so us and our, those of us who are 80s and 90s babies, we were taught long division one way. We will learn to rote memorize our multiplication facts. And so there's different strategies now. And so sometimes the parents may not know how to even deliver where the child is already frustrated because they don't know how to do it. The parents are now also frustrated because either they don't know how to do it or they don't agree with the way that is being taught. But that's something else. But I just wanted to say that to just bring that up because the
Yeah.
frustration could also be with, well, you're my mom, like you're my dad, you should know how to do this.
Yeah,
That's what I
I'm
was.
gonna chime in a little bit on that because I'm gonna say something that's very simple, but it is true, right? So children are many adults, and I mean that by your child is going to react to things similar to the way you do, and you have to understand that they have to learn behaviors from somewhere. I truly believe that if you have to really go back to where you used to be as a child and not where you are now as an adult to help children. And I think you guys understand that by asking questions. And like when I'm in the business that I'm in and I'm asking questions, I'm always open to learning because we don't know everything. And like Kim said, there are different ways of learning and being and teaching and different methods now than the 80s and 90s babies that we just had different ways of very like quick memorizing and critical thinking because we didn't have access to all these different tools and the speed of the things that they're digesting as kids now. It makes it easy, but it also makes it hard at the same time. So you guys hit it right on the net on the head. But I did want to say that. What are you guys thinking about that? I don't want to take it away, but they just came to me.
It's I want to say really is the way of the world. Ashley's a coach in math, and so all of the things that they're doing, that the ways that math is being taught now, like she knows it like the back of her hand. She could give you the rhyme and the reason behind it. Me, I'm like, nah, I just need to know that 3 times 4 is 12 and 4 times 3 is 12 and 12 divided by 4 is 3. But she really digs deep, and I get that part of it, just knowing like why this is important. How does it relate to, real life scenarios? But in hindsight, when we at Walmart, we're not drawing out 12 circles and dividing it up by, so it's like it that's when it becomes case by case basis.
But we are in the grocery stores doing mental math, estimating how much we have, working on our budget, making sure that the amount that I say I have is the amount that I'm gonna get in this store. Like we are using those real world, we're in the real world using those mathematical things that we use in the classroom. And we're trying to get the kids to understand how to reason, how to communicate their math thoughts. And even when you guys say, Ashley knows how to, or you got the kids are doing this new math and all of this stuff, it's really breaking it down conceptually so that the kids have a clear understanding. They had us thinking, this is the way you do it, this is it, get it done, follow my steps, follow this procedural, these procedures, and you'll be done with it. I never knew until we got into this field the reason why we divided. And when I saw how, I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? So imagine a kid that's 8 or 9 years old learning how to divide and seeing that, understanding I'm taking these apples and I'm giving you one, you one, you one, and I'm just going to keep on going until we all have equal groups and making it make sense. That's what's happening now. And then when I get into the real world, now I'm at a party and I got 18 kids coming and I have to divide this cake, or I have to divide this box of cookies up. It's easy. It's easy because we've been practicing it in school. And I'm sorry, that might not have been your question. But when Kim started talking about the grocery store and all of the things, and how I had to chime in a little bit. So I apologize. I know I went left field just now. But I need you guys to understand that, and parents to understand that we can find math just like we can find reading in everything we do. And when your child is feeling like they just can't, you reel them in to show them all the ways that they can.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
didn't go left. It
Okay.
was it was
My
right
bad.
on course, right on course.
Sis said that in one breath.
I'm just saying, like we do this every day. I'm at the grocery store, or I'm at Red Lobster, or wherever I'm at, and my husband's like, the bill is this, and I'm like, 20% of that, this is the tip they get, easy peasy, because I have been able to process how to do it mentally. You know what I mean? All of those things are coming back to me. That was 6th, 7th grade when we was doing that. So I try to connect it to
Do,
everyday.
do they still have like the fake money? I know when I was in school, they had like the
Yeah, I got it
little.
right there.
And do.
And
We sure do have fake money, and we take that money and we show them how 10 dimes equal $1,
Yep.
$10 equal a $10 bill, 10
Yep.
$10 bills equal 100. Now let's go to the base 10 system, right? Showing them how we can do it real, in the real world, using what everybody loves, that moolah. They're gonna learn that way.
A game that everyone hates. Well, my family, my household hates playing with me is
Monopoly.
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 They're like, I'm not
It's so
playing no
long.
Monopoly with you. But it's fun to me because that really teaches you how the world works. It
Yes.
really teaches you how the world works. From going to jail to getting out to losing all your money to like
Mortgage, rent,
yeah, everything.
taxes.
Yes. I saw a post on social media that talked about how Monopoly shows you how how we were African Americans had an injustice. Every time we land on something, we got to pay rent. Every time every time you hit a corner or snag, bam, you end up in jail. Like it was just, and it was, yeah, I was like, whoa, whoa, but it was
Whoa.
real. I'm gonna see if I can find it and send it to y'all because it was real.
Yes. You would never send that to me. You know I'll be on my Black history.
So another question I have, this is going to lead to this. Well, we're leading up to this is why do children say things like "I'm dumb," "I hate school," or "I can't do this" after struggling for a while?
You want to
They've
know the
heard it.
real?
I
What you
mean,
say, Kim?
I said they've heard it. Um, they're internalizing their own thoughts out loud. Someone has made them feel that way.
Mm.
Okay, pass it to Ashley.
So the question I have though is, do you think it's the task that they are saying that I can't do, that I hate, or do you think it's a reflection of how they feel about themselves because they don't understand the task? You know what I mean? Like kids, mm, kids that I can't. It's they sometimes start to believe that because I can't, I'm not good enough, or I don't have what it takes to be successful. They start, you know how you are, you keep embedding it and you keep saying it, you start to believe it. So we need to make them understand too that it's not the who you are, you can. It's the task that seems difficult. And if we start to break the task down in manageable parts and pieces and explain to them what we're working through, show them, give them manipulatives, work through it with them, I think that can't can turn around. But that it can't, we don't want that I can't to be about who they are. And I think that's what a lot of the kids do. They start to say I can't so much that they really believe it. And we don't want that to be a self-reflection of them. So we got to try to turn that around a little bit. You know, the reason they do it is because they, like Kim, all the reasons that Kim listed. So our job is to figure out how we can help make that task easier for you instead of it being almost like a reflection of who you are. Because I hate school, I can't do this, I don't want to do this. That's all like you're trying to, it's avoidance. You're trying to avoid it because you don't know how to do it. You think that you can't do it. You think you're not good enough to do it. I get this a lot with my baby girl. She's like, I don't get it. I don't want to do it. She really just doesn't want to do it because she doesn't understand it. And so I have to break it down sometimes for her. And she doesn't always receive me because I'm the mama. So guess what? S.A.G.A prep, here she come. Somebody help her out. Kim, you got it? Okay. Kim is going to help break it down for her. And she enjoys that because it's a different perspective. It's a different person. And they're delivering it in an entirely different way for her. So yeah, I don't know why children do it. I don't like it, but I really want them to, I want us to try to change that for them so that they know it's really just the task you don't like. You know, it's something that we have to try to work through. And I want you to understand that you can do it. You can, instead of I can't, I don't want to, you can. And you'll enjoy it once you start to really see that you could do it, you know? So I don't know. I say all that to say I don't know. I know.
I have a personal motto where it's like I can do hard things or I can do all things, but the can stands for challenges are necessary. So the C, challenges, A, are, and necessary. And I started taking a different approach to that when it came to me in a personal space. And I said that could be used basically anywhere because this challenges, no matter what it is, it's necessary for you. And you're supposed to go through it. Your challenge might not look like my challenge might not look like Ashley's challenge, but I'm supposed to go through this. Ashley's challenge might not be yours, Mr. Holiday, but you're supposed to go through this. There's a lesson that should be learned through this. But also when we were talking about like with the kids and the avoidance and all of the things. Also wonder, we didn't hone in a lot on the teachers, and I don't really want to say teachers, I want to say maybe adults, right? Because if you steady say you can't, you can't, you can't, you can't, sooner or later, whatever a guardian or adult that you're working with, they'll give up too. Say, all right, fine, then don't. So then that can't becomes a don't because you don't want to deal with their behavior. You don't want to deal with their nagging. You don't want to deal with their whining. So what do? Not do it at all. You don't even press the issue. And I've been in spaces before and in schools where teachers are like, well, especially like when we get out back to school list and teachers like, yeah, well, yeah, this about Ashley and da 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 da. And don't give them a book because they go off. I like those kind. I like because everybody comes with a blank. Everybody comes with a blank canvas when you come to me. So don't tell me what they can't do. Don't tell me what they didn't do because that was for you. Did you develop that relationship? Did you get them? Did you meet them where they were? Did you break it down into real life terms? Did you break it down into the simplest way possible for them so that way they can get to understand it? Did you share with them any struggles that you may have had with that certain concept?
Make the connections. Yep. Sometimes it just helps build relationships, make connections, so they can start to see things differently.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's it's see I don't work with kids. Most I do with kids is put them to sleep, give them a bath, feed them, do some sporting activities with them, like because I have boys, right? But everything that I'm hearing you guys say is so transferable to adults because I work with adults more than I work with kids, right? Because that's my job. And the things that you're seeing and the approaches that you guys take towards kids is the same approach and methods that successful CEOs take to running well established companies, right? So you have to always treat people the same way, no matter how old they are, and always get down to that level. Because think about it: if someone was coming to work for you, you guys are co owners, and you reach back for a reference, and they said, "I wouldn't do this because they did." Well, that was for you. They might be better for me. I need to talk to the person to understand who they are because we bring out the best in people, or we bring
Mhm.
out the worst in people. So the kids are the same way. Kids connect to you guys. You bring the best out of them. So it's just amazing to me, like just seeing things in a holistic view. Like you guys are doing this, but it's very transferable. Like you could really be running 10 companies at the same time because of your approach. Right. So it's just, I just like this. I like, oh man, this is the same thing.
That's right. We're
So
all out here learning something new every day.
exactly. Now we want to understand mental health and the impact that it has on children and parents. So
Disclaimer, audience, we are not QMHPs. We respect those in that sector. We are
Facts.
not that. We are only coming from a teacher standpoint, from a teacher stance who also deals with emotions in the classroom or outside of the classroom. We love your word, QMHPs.
Nice
We
plug.
love it. Plug. We don't want anybody coming for us acting like we know what they do. I mean, we know what they do, but like that, like we're experts in it, right?
yeah,
We want to be respectful to those that actually do it. But yeah, throw it at us.
yeah. Let's talk about it. And this is a discussion about it. So we're not saying that you guys are experts, but you do deal with the problems that they have to deal with as well. You
Yep.
just use your schooling and teaching to navigate it as well. So, how can repeatedly struggling in school affect a child's confidence, motivation, and willingness to try? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but let's really talk about it more. Why do they just give up when they're repeatedly struggling in school?
I'm
If
a
they're
bad.
getting the grades that show the struggle, they're disappointing their family, their moms, and we're speaking on the disappointment. They feel, I mean, I'm pretty sure they feel like they are, they, of course they don't have the confidence, but they don't feel good about where they are academically. And if you don't feel good about where you are and nobody's helping to lift you up, you're going to stay in that space. And that cycle's just going to keep on going. And then the next year you move to the next grade, or you stay behind depending on how academically below you are. You know what I mean? And so then that cycle starts all over. I try a little bit, and then I get that F, or I get that D or that C. I don't get that motivation I need from someone to help me be great. Then we're back at it again. So we got to help stop the cycle, and support them a little more. And yeah, just, I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one because how do you, how we want to have all the right things to say, right? But that child that's constantly, not doing well, or not getting supported, the parents got to step up and support that. The teachers got to step up and support that. And if you feel like you can't do it, like I said earlier, if I can't do something, I'm going to call somebody that can help me. You know what I mean? I want to give my child as many successes as I can, you know? But as educators, we got to figure out ways to scaffold, ways to make them feel some type of success, what success feels like. If they're constantly seeing failure after failure after failure, that's what they're going to start to think that they are. But if we can show them, you know, the little things matter, then we can start to build that confidence. I don't know, Kim, you got something to say to that?
I do, but
Say
pass.
it, Kim. Say it,
Okay.
Kim.
Because you were just talking about like the repeated cycles, and I'm just on like no, I don't know. I don't think I should. I really want to talk about how broken it appears that the education system is and what No Child Left Behind has done. But that's a whole nother situation because that's not necessarily everybody, but we have seen a lot of struggles with students that haven't mastered it and have just been moved on because of behavior, because of age. Um, yeah, so I don't
And who's stepping up to help them? They moving on and they still lost.
thank you.
Who's stepping up to help them?
I had a student a couple years ago, 3 years ago, who was 10 in the second grade.
Mm.
10 had failed kindergarten, had failed first grade. Then that child went, um, then that child went away to a school and came back. And when he went away to that school, he had to do that person had to do that grade over. So in hindsight, this child failed K1 and 2. And I'm like, I what and we're just okay with this? Like, who are these like it just had me looking like who are the past teacher, like what type of interventions were put in place. But because this child got used to throwing things, being explosive, cursing people out, throwing desks, shoving, I mean, he tried all that I should say they tried all that in my room. But I met him. I met them where until it got too crazy, and I was like, all right, well, this child's probably gonna have to. It might be beyond what I can do in the classroom because there was a lot of behavior, and I say like irate behavior, like running out of the building, running out of the classroom. I mean, that's just one scenario, but I do believe that child has heard I can't, or you're dumb, or you don't know how to do it. And then also we got to take a look at the parents too. We're going to call a spade because the relationship started at home. And this child knew that his mother did not like him.
Mm.
So if you already know the person who's putting clothes on your back and putting food on your table already has a disgust in you, it's going to be hard for you to receive anybody else, no matter how much love they bring to the door. I met him with the love. And it was sometimes where I knew that I had to walk away because it was getting too much. But guess what? We made it as far as he could. And then, Miss Bailey was absent one day, and then the rest of the story goes on. So
Yeah.
I think I don't think it's just the kid. I think it's stuff that's embedded in them from their surroundings and their environment.
And I agree. I agree with that. So I had another interview with a man, Mario Haskett, well, senior. He has a son named Junior that went to Harvard. But he said, pay now or pay later. And what he meant by that was you're either going to pay attention to your children or you're going to pay for what they need as far as, tutoring or clubs or help that they need, or you're going to pay for it later through drugs, through prison, through lawyer
Bail.
fees, or even, he didn't say this, but I'm going to say it, or even burying your child because you didn't spend that time with them and pay attention to the needs that they need. So, Kim, I agree with you. It starts at home. So if someone doesn't like me at home, why would I care if anybody else likes me out in the world?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
good point. Good point, ladies. Let's get to the next question because we can talk about this for a long time. So what can happen when a child already feels like they are failing and adults around them respond with even more pressure?
You said, what
That's,
can a child do?
What can happen?
Oh, oh, oh.
of course, the shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to shut down, but the pressure is unwarranted. Like why are we pressuring a baby? I don't understand that because the more pressure you put on it doesn't mean that they're gonna respond to that pressure in a positive way.
Mm.
That could push them away. You know what I mean? Like
It
I don't.
reminds me of that. I didn't mean to cut you off, sis.
You're
That
right.
that TikTok video was like, Johnny got 5 apples.
And they just kept getting louder and
Yeah.
louder.
Now you take away 2. What is this? 4. Yeah.
Yeah, you teaching louder, you talking louder.
Starting to
That ain't gonna
sweat.
change. That's
Your
not
breath
gonna
might
change the
stink.
result. You gotta show. You gotta put the things in front of them. You gotta build them up. You gotta speak positivity into them and not pressure. That pressuring a baby is not positive. That's not gonna get you the results you want. That's gonna get you frustrated, the child frustrated, everybody now frustrated. Now what we gonna do?
and
You know?
you think because you're dishing it and you're an adult that they can take it. No, they're still sponges. They're cognitive and all of those things are still being developed. Even though we say like from 0 to 5, that's what. No, at 8 you can have your you can have yourself crushed down. At 12 you can have yourself crushed down. So it's not just a matter of building it up until they're like 5 years old. You got to continue to build them. I'm 44 years old. If I'm broken in a space, my mom, I know exactly who to call. My mom can bring me right back.
Oh, you old girl.
I'm 11 days older than you.
So, why do you think parents do that though? We're all parents on this call, right?
Frustration.
Mhm.
So,
They don't know how to deliver. They are afraid to even ask for help to be able to deliver. And that's one thing that we do like about, I mean, that we offer in Saga Prep. We want you to bring your child here to us and trust that we got it. But if there's something that you need to know as a parent in order to keep that learning going on at home, yeah, you're
We're
allowed.
gonna
You can
give it
sit
to
in our
you.
sessions. You can
Yes.
sit right in there. We might even shoot a video right after the session to show you how to do it, so that way you can always press play. So parents have to have that, not ego, not confidence. What's the word I'm looking for?
They just need to be
openness.
open.
Yeah. What they said, y'all. What they said. You got to realize that you might have an issue before that, but in order to help them, right? Like I knew when my son started doing algebra and geometry and all of that when numbers and letters mix. Now we've talked about what we can't do, and we've said no, but you can't. Well,
Can.
I sought Saga Prep as well. I'm not saying what I can't do because I could have sat down and really learned it off of YouTube. No, I'm going to go right where the skills lie. Miss Ashley, thank you. Gio's your new client. And she did all what she needed to do to get it. I mean, so that way he got it and he enjoyed her and he waited. I mean, like he was looking forward to Sundays. And then when we had to switch over to another tutor because Ashley stopped tutoring, that love, that ethic of caring was still there. So you gotta reach out. And I knew I didn't have a way to help him. And yeah, so that wasn't me being like, no, that was me being humble and finding out what I needed to do in order to help my child. I'm not about to sit here and let you struggle.
And I love those parents that call us and they're like, listen, my baby doing this. I don't know what it is. Can you help me? And we go through it and we talk to them about it.
Like
I
they're the
assign,
students.
yes, I assign homework for the baby. And then I'm talking to the parent about how to do it. I'll even do a tutorial and show them and give them like an answer key and how to get to the answer. I like that because they're not what's the word I'm looking for? They're not ashamed of
Right.
what they don't know. They want to do this for the betterment of their child, right? So they're going to step outside of that what do you call it? Being humble. That I don't know the right word I'm trying to say.
Arrogance. I don't know. Y'all know what we're trying to
It's
say.
not arrogance. It's just
Not
them
arrogance.
them, sometimes we block ourselves off because we don't want people to know what we don't know. And I don't know your field, Dominique. So if I don't know your field, I'm gonna tell you, can you show me? Can you tell me how it works? Even in the field I'm in to this day, I'm still learning. I'm talking to my partner, hey, can you come and show me how to do this? Can you come meet with me tomorrow so we can figure out my small groups? Talk to me and let me know how I can make this work for my school. Like, we're always trying to figure out ways to make it work. And so I really, really enjoy the parents that are like, Miss Ashley, girl, I don't know what you're doing. Show me. And I'm like, that. I'll even do a video. Okay, this is what you do. And I'll send the video to the parent. We're going to support you.
Mm-hmm.
Those teachers will support you guys too, parents. So don't sleep
Just
on the
ask.
teachers. Just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that leads me to the next question. When might an educator encourage a parent to also involve the school counselor, pediatrician, therapist, or another qualified mental health professional to help with their child?
Mm. When those statements that the child is saying gets deeper than I hate school,
Yep.
when it's the I hate me, there's a lot of self-doubt, self-talk, hatred, so
Mm-hmm.
amongst the school, the teachers, when it starts to become a little bit
Or
overwhelming,
or
then
displaying the action too, hitting
yeah,
your
or just
head on the wall.
yeah,
You know, might try to do something, not necessarily stab yourself, but just avoid
hurt
it.
yourself.
Anything,
Yeah.
yeah, anything that I can
Self-harm.
do. Yeah,
Self-harm.
leaning back in the chair to fall. All types of things.
Yeah, self-harm. But also when you're starting to see like if your child might be having processing issues, or if they can't, you give them directives and they can only follow one out of the three directives.
Hmm.
um, there are several different ways to kind of see that something's going on with your child. The biggest thing with the Black community is that we shy away from that. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with him, he just don't want to. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with them, they just don't know how. No, no. Just like therapy, you know how it's like a stigma against our culture that therapy is not a good thing. I'm glad that it's shifting. It's definitely shifting, but it's the same thing with getting services that are needed. If you getting the counselor involved, if you getting the ICC,
Pediatrician.
who is the instructional compliance coordinator, you getting the teachers involved, the pediatrician, more is going on. And for you to recognize that, that's a thumbs up to the parent for saying, I know something's wrong with my child and I just want them to be successful. So I'm going to go to all these routes to see how I can support my child.
Yep.
If you don't do it, they go under the radar, and they
Hmm.
go under the radar so long that by the time they get to 10th grade, they like, school is not for me, and they dropping out. We don't want that. We
And
don't
we
want
want
that.
good parents to get ahead of it before anybody else does. You don't want
Exactly.
anybody to tell you about your baby. You want to be able to say, oh, I know this about my baby. And I've also done this. And we're also in communication for this. And they also have an appointment for this. And I've already done these behavior strategies.
But
You
Kim,
know,
also though, when the teacher or somebody does tell you their observations,
yep,
the denial piece has we got to stop being in denial. Like, we're not going to tell you anything to hurt or harm your child.
that's
We're
right.
not going to ever do that. But the denial is hurting and harming your child.
Say that
You know what I
again.
mean? Denying is hurting and harming your child.
Hmm.
If you want to find alternative ways to support your child, do that. But just make sure that you're doing all you can for them instead of ignoring them.
Because the problem's just going to continue to grow.
And
And there's plenty of
kind
professionals out here that can help steer you in the right direction, including
Absolutely.
S.A.G.A prep tutoring.
Oh my goodness.
and you guys kind of already answered the next question I had. It's kind of like you just going through my questions.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so I was going to ask you guys, what would you say to the parents that's watching who feels exhausted, guilty, and unsure how to help their children?
Call me if you want me to. I'm sorry. I got you. Uh, well,
Don't
first of
feel
all,
guilty, because
yeah,
if
don't feel
you
guilty.
have a feeling of guilty, that means a feeling of guilt, then that means that there's something on the inside that's not making you feel good. So what do you need to do to reverse that? So ask questions. If you are not a face-to-face person, email, text message. Um, my dad always said the dumbest question is the one that's never asked. So
Next.
don't sit in here and be dumb. So do what you got to do. Like, Ashley and I are the owners of S.A.G.A Prep. We have a successful business growing. You all, as an audience, have heard us say to you all, my baby needed some help and I needed another route. My son needed help in geometry. We needed another route. As experienced educators, we also know where we need to take a step back and allow another person who is who has the passion, the
And
professionalism to
expertise.
tackle this on. So yeah, like nobody is above you when you are. I know I'm not saying this right, but I'm saying it out of passion. Y'all just take it. But like when it comes to your child's success, nothing else should be above that. You shouldn't be above that. If you know that you can't help, go out and find the help because there's resources out there.
And feeling guilty is a normal, it's a normal feeling,
Mm-hmm.
right? But feel even guiltier if you don't reach out to that child's teacher, to a tutor, talk to that child,
Another family member,
another
somebody that
family
might know
member.
it.
That's when you feel guilty because you haven't exhausted any of your options. You know what I mean? Exhaust your options. Go to the school, talk to the principal. I guarantee you, we are all working together and collaborating on ways to make and to support your child. So you never have to feel alone in this fight because we all go through it in some kind of way. From my children to Kim's children, we go through it, but we know the system enough to know. Uh, you think I'm not gonna ask for help? I sure am because I know my child deserves that. So
And one of the guys that I follow, his name is Alex Hermosi, and he's a successful business owner. But he says, suffer. How much are you willing to suffer? And what he means by that is you're going to suffer being poor, you're going to suffer being rich, you're going to suffer getting your kids help, or you're going to suffer not getting them help. So
mhm.
why not suffer trying to put forth the effort to help your child be successful, and that will stop your suffering from not doing so. To add on to what you ladies are saying,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
so we're right at time. But is there anything that you ladies want to put out before we end the call tonight?
I think I just want families to know that there is support out there. There's so many people that you can reach out to. You have community centers, you have the school, you have tutoring companies. If it's not us, it's another one. You have options. Don't feel like you are by yourself. Our babies need all of our support, and we're gonna find a way to give it to them, one way or another.
What she said.
Of course,
Exhaust your
you gotta do the plug. Call us.
options.
Call me.
Call us. After you exhausted all your options, call us.
We here.
All right. And I want to thank you ladies tonight for joining me in this conversation that was much needed. And
Absolutely.
I'll end on this note: pay now or pay later.
Mm.
Your
Mm-mm.
child, your child's success is determined and dependent on you as a parent. So pay now or pay later, but reach out to S.A.G.A Pro. And that's it for tonight. That's 5 a.m. Club After Hours, and we will be back in another 2 weeks. So be here, or what is it? Be here, be square. What
Be
is it?
Be
there or
there or
be
be square.
square.
That part.
Geometry. Later, guys.
Good night.